The United States and the Soviet Union had emerged as superpowers after World War II, and their ideological battle would define much of the next several decades. The fear of communism spread throughout America, culminating in the McCarthy hearings and the rise of Senator Joseph McCarthy, who accused many Americans of being communist sympathizers, leading to widespread paranoia and fear. The Civil Rights Movement, led by figures such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X, took center stage. African Americans who had long suffered under racial segregation and discrimination began to demand their rights through peaceful protests and legal battles. Meanwhile, President John Kennedy's vision of a new frontier inspired a generation of extensive aspirations. In 1961, Kennedy challenged the nation to land a man on the moon before the end of the decade. In 1969, Neil Armstrong's historic walk on the moon symbolized not only a technological achievement, but also the resilience and ambition of the American spirit. However, the 1960s also saw deep divisions within the country. The Vietnam War escalated, leading to widespread protests. The war became increasingly unpopular, especially after the 1968 Tet Offensive and the brutal My Lai massacre. The war was a defining issue of the time, pitting those who supported the government's intervention against those who questioned its morality. The 1980s brought a sense of optimism back to America, albeit with a more conservative slant. In 1980, Ronald Reagan, a former actor and governor of California, was elected president, ushering in an era of conservative politics and economic policies known as Reaganomics. He advocated for tax cuts, deregulation, and a strong military stance against the Soviet Union. Reagan's administration is often credited with fostering economic growth through supply-side economics, though critics argue that it led to greater income inequality. The Cold War remained a defining issue of the 1980s. Reagan famously called the Soviet Union the evil empire, and his administration ramped up military spending in an effort to outpace Soviet capabilities. At the same time, tensions between the two superpowers thawed toward the end of the decade. In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, symbolizing the collapse of Soviet influence in Eastern Europe, and marking the beginning of the end for the Cold War. The 1990s were marked by the end of the Cold War and the rise of a new global order. The Soviet Union dissolved in 1991, and the U.S. emerged as the world's sole superpower. The Gulf War of 1990 to 1991, led by President George H.W. Bush, was a display of American military might and a symbol of the nation's leadership in the post-Cold War world. That is all I have for today's video, and on behalf of the OLE 20th Century History YouTube channel, thank you for watching this video, and please remember to subscribe, share our videos with others, and browse the channel to watch other enjoyable videos. Additionally, I would like to announce that this video was the 5th and final episode in the American History series, so the next video will be part of a new series centered on British history.